out where it's coming from and everything. So,
Okay,
I'm not gonna.
it is
drink.
Tuesday, July 5th, 2022. We'll call a meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge of allegiance. I
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Born and unborn.
Okay. Minutes and reports received and filed.
Yes, we have the recorder's June 2022 fees, and we have the county clerk's June 2022 fees.
Okay. Commissioner Committee Liaison reports, upcoming meetings and events.
I've got some events on here, but I don't think we don't have communities this week. It's gonna be the barbecue, right?
Well, we had the barbecue, yeah, so, yeah,
Okay. So no meeting Thursday morning at all.
nope.
And I think our extension council meeting is actually canceled too. We don't have anything on the agenda. Try to take a month off from it. That's about it.
Today is Public Safety Day, is that right? I mean, sorry, is it Safety Day for Public Works? Yes, Safety Day for Public Works. Tomorrow, I'm going to sit in with the chief of EMS for some interviews. I think that's all I have on this week.
Okay, well, tomorrow we've got Robin Blevin's retirement. Thursday I had traffic and safety, but they canceled it. Friday is the last day for ARPA applications to be received. Sunday is the St. Martin's Parish Picnic, which is in your, so anyway, that's all I've got. Okay, any commission comments? Bids and contracts. Approval of amendment to the Public Health Emergency Preparedness Contract.
Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
For this contract year that is July 1st, 2022 through June 30th, 2023, DHSS has increased the funding of our Public Health Emergency Preparedness Contract. I think it was $47,000 and some change. Now it's $59,931. I think they had some carryover money from last year that wasn't spent, so they're distributing it amongst the county. So we just need approval of that amendment.
Okay. You good?
I'm good.
All right. Make a motion to approve the amendment to the program services contract with Missouri Department of Health and Senior Services.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Approval of the Show Me Healthy Women's annual contract.
This is just our annual contract renew for Show Me Healthy Women. We kind of are a pass-through agency. We pay for preventative screenings for women that are uninsured, and we have a contract with JCMG to deliver those services, and we're reimbursed by the Department of Health and Senior Services.
Good.
I'm good.
All right. Make a motion to approve the Show Me Healthy Women annual contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, bid award, 2022 asphalt overlay program, project number 2022-501-1.
So this is our annual asphalt overlay program. And bids were opened on Friday, June 24th. Jefferson Asphalt, Red Low. The roads involved are Cedar Valley Road, Egan Lane, Autumn Woods Lane, Falling Leaf Lane, Cedar Knoll Drive, and all the paved streets in Eugene. This will also include the parking lots at 209 Adams, the asphalt lot at Pringer Center, and the Sallyport lot at 211 Monroe Street. Alternate 2 includes Old Route C and Old Route C Spur, and alternate 3 includes Meadows Ford Spur and Rocky Road. And then the city of Russellville streets included in this project are Hatler Street, Vine Court, and McDavid Street. And this money will come from the city's allocation from sales tax. And we will be making a few changes on the quantities of the base bid. We removed Rock Ridge and South Ridge Court from the contract due to scheduling conflicts with the city of Jefferson. This was a savings of $377,576.50 on the base bid, which allows us to include alternates 2 and 3. The total price of the bid was $930,496.73, and the engineer's estimate was $871,440.
So if the parking lots, that's gonna come from capital back into your,
Correct.
okay. Did the engineer's estimate include the parking lots, or?
Yes.
Just because of the price of,
The parking lots actually came under the engineer's estimate.
is it like the petroleum pricing that's,
The ton, price per ton was quite a bit higher than what we were expecting.
okay. Yeah, I'm gonna see a lot of that in the coming months, so.
Yes.
So we got the money in the budget for it, and even though it came in above the engineer's estimate,
Yeah, I mean, we gotta make a few shifts around, but we do
Okay.
have the money, so.
all right, I'm good with it.
Mhm.
You got the contract today too, then?
I do, sir.
All right, I'll just do it all in one motion. I'll make a motion to award the bid to Jefferson Asphalt Company and sign the construction contract.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I think that's all yours.
Okay. I don't have to initial pages, do I?
Every one of them.
Okay. Do we have any unfinished business? Okay, new business, accounts payable review. I will move approval of accounts payable review pending, whatever we pinned.
Second. If that was a motion.
Yes.
To pay accounts payable pending review.
Yeah.
I'll second your motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Well, I'm trying to do too damn many things.
I'm trying to make a motion and sign papers at the same time.
I know. Okay. Discussion and approval of courthouse request. Judge Beadham came over yesterday, or last week, and we talked. And we had talked about the water fountains there because they don't work, and people are not allowed to bring drink into the courthouse. So I think the bid was 10,000. It was pretty high, but it's we need to provide some kind of water for the people in the courthouse.
Yeah, Holly brought that up, I don't know, a month or two ago when we first started talking about it. So,
And we haven't taken any action, so
yeah.
Check around and see if I can get, if I buy the material, what it would cost to put it in, to get it down.
Yeah, we do need to provide something over there, because if you're not allowed to bring any drinks in there, and, I mean, it's not just criminals that are coming in there, it's attorneys and people there for family law and what have you, so.
well, in this hot weather especially, we need water for
Let me
them.
see what I can do to get the price down, as far as the material, if we buy it versus, them supplying it.
Yeah, if we
Okay.
put other jugged water over there, it's gonna cost a lot more.
Oh, we'd have
We'd
cups
have
and
to have
stuff
cups.
everywhere.
Yeah.
It'd be,
So, be a maintenance
yeah,
nightmare
so
for
we
that,
need,
too.
we need to move ahead on that. If you can do that, maybe next week
I will get called.
because I think we need to,
Do we have to bid that?
Anything under 12, I think.
Is
what
it 12, what it was now? Okay.
And a quarter, yes.
I mean, I don't think it'd hurt to make some phone calls and see what kind of pricing we can get on it.
I'll see what I can do.
I don't know
as
who
far
else
as
wants to
buying.
mess with it,
Yeah.
so,
yeah.
okay.
And then, sound recording equipment for Judge Green's courtroom. I think Judge Beadham had brought that up, and then we discussed it, but we didn't take any action. And,
So that'd be perfect for ARPA money right there.
I don't care what
Right.
but we just need to get that going. And that will eliminate a court recorder as well, so.
Did they apply for it, or can we do that with in-house money for the ARPA money? Because we talked about that before. Didn't he bring that up whenever he was
Yeah,
up
he
here?
did, and we discussed it, but we didn't do anything. So-
If you replace the water fountains with water bottle refilling stations, you could probably use ARPA money too, because that really cuts down on germs.
They won't even have water bottles though. They don't let them come in with the drinks, because that was part of the
They're
issue.
empty. Tell them they can bring them in.
Yeah,
Really, that really cuts down on the germ.
Right.
Yeah,
I thought about that too. If you don't allow them to bring anything in, but for
No.
employees, it's nice.
Yeah.
Well, it's not us, is it a rule of the court?
I guess so. I
They're
It could-
afraid of people bringing water bottles in with chemicals or something to throw at the judge, or, I know the federal doesn't let them in either, so.
don't know.
well, even a water bottle, if it's just full of water, you throw that and hit somebody, they're gonna know they've been hit.
Especially the metal ones.
Yeah, so but anyway, we need to do something about the sound recording equipment, because I think Judge Limbaugh uses that courtroom as well, and
Are court reporters on the payroll? I mean, are they independent contractors that we pay for working there? They're state workers.
okay,
Okay.
okay.
so, I mean, are we required to get the recording for them for the courtroom, or are we providing a courtroom for them? And they can get their own recording equipment? I mean, why wouldn't OSCA get it for them? And it would eliminate a salary. It would save money in the long run.
I think it'd be too easy, Jeff. I don't know, we can check, but we probably need to do this sooner than later, so I can check with Judge Beadham and just see if
Good question.
yes,
Or comment, I think all circuit judges are automatically assigned a state-paid court reporter, right? So why would that eliminate Judge Green's court reporter?
well, it's just, they need this recording equipment just regardless of that. But one of the things Judge Beadham had mentioned that, by having this, and that's not the main reason they're putting this in, is that, it will eliminate the court reporter there, but I think,
Well, I think the circuit judges all get a state-paid court recorder, the associates don't, I believe. Anyway.
I will
Confused by
check.
that comment.
I will check and bring it back.
Let's find out a little more background on that. Perhaps Judge Green left his circuit court recording equipment as he abandoned the courtroom that a associate judge now has. I believe Judge Limbaugh. So perhaps that's where that equipment is. But you've raised some good questions. I think we should get the answers to before we order the equipment and pay for it.
Well, we'll try to get that back on next week's agenda. And then the one other, I think they had talked about rekeying the locks in the courthouse. And I've talked with Greg about that too, and,
Right now in the hearing, we got over 62 keys for that building for different doors.
yeah.
Did we approve that when we talked about it before? I remember talking about that, and it was just gonna be so much easier if y'all had,
Yeah,
I guess
we can get it down to where, like this building used to be with a grandmaster, which got you into every door, and then a master still got you into doors that you don't want, and then individual keys can be handed out, signed out to people and get back. That would be the nice thing to do. I talked to Kevin Friday after I talked to you, and he said that's the way he would like to set it up if we did it.
It's not gonna be inexpensive, but I think,
Right.
get some pricing on it and then let's get it rolling.
Okay.
Because I don't think anybody was opposed to it when we talked
No,
about it before.
I will
So-
call Kevin when we leave here.
Okay.
One other courthouse thing that I heard some rumbling about was some flooring in public administrator. Had we agreed to do that, and or is that's an odd? Jeff, haven't you stopped by over there to?
Yeah, I don't remember what we talked about on the flooring over there.
Well, there is a carpet, and there is usually a leak. Often there's a leak, and some discussion about going to this type of laminate that we've had in other successful.
Upstairs?
No,
Public
no,
administrator.
public administrator.
Down the basement.
Basement.
And he's got two square tiles down there already.
They're in now?
I believe so.
Okay.
Is that glue down VCT or whatever it is?
Just glued- just-
Or is it that floating?
It's just
waterproof?
2 by 2 square.
Oh, this stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. We've had a little bit of water.
We'll talk about it offline then, but I thought there was some discussion about going to that laminate.
Now, the only place we talked about going to and laminate was EMS, get rid of that floor, and down at Pringer. Is the only thing I'm recalling right now.
Okay.
Oh, I was gonna say we'd put this on for next week, but you're gonna be gone.
I won't be
So
back on this
we'll put the water fountain and the rekeying on for the 19th. And then you'll get some information on the recording here. Okay. Mosquito spraying discussion.
Come on, Joe. You started this.
Okay, well, so we had several different complaints that I followed up on with the, on Hem Street, and went out there, and so you never know when you go to a complaint how many people are gonna say what, but anyway, just in line, in unison, every single, I went in the afternoon, and by the time I got there, then people were coming back from work, and one after another, they were all, this is the worst we've ever seen it. Never had this problem before, but mosquitoes are bad. So sent something to Eric and just say, hey, do you even still have the fogger? Because it'd been years since, we'd used it. And so anyway, so that's kind of the reason for this was that. I did check with the nurses. There's not a current actual West Nile alert or anything like that, but there's still protocol that, if there's enough concern, sometimes we have went ahead and sprayed in an area that where people were asking for spray.
I sent you, on the email, I copied the policy that we put in place several years past, the integrated pest management policy that talked about kind of what triggers we use to determine when Public Works would spray, because we don't want to do it just every time somebody says, oh, there's mosquitoes in my yard.
Seems like we said, unless somebody really comes forward and says mosquitoes are bad, we would stop doing that. But to me, if we've got a bunch of citizens saying it's bad, we need to spray.
Is Hem Street now two separate streets in a way because there's no connecting bridge?
Shut the bridge down, it will be taken out, but yes, it's two separate sections. I'm not sure, is it the south or the north section?
It starts at, let's see, 60, let's see here. 6801, I think, is where it starts. And Morrow's not too far from there at that point. And then it goes all the way to 7020, I believe. It's pretty close to that Foxmore or whatever.
It's not north and south, it's east and west. This would be the west or the furthest section from town.
It's about a half mile, I did,
the other
by
side of the
quick
bridge.
looking at things, and that's the group that's, when I went out there, I didn't get bit by mosquitoes or anything, but, and didn't put spray on, but there were some biting insects, horseflies and stuff like that.
So, a couple, sorry, you had something there?
I was just gonna, I didn't get a chance to read the policy, but does it, do we alert the homeowners that on X day at X time, we're gonna be doing this fogging? Or could we go ahead and do that if
That's-
it's not part of the
I think that-
policy?
Yeah, I don't have the policy memorized, and I swear I printed it out, but I don't have it in my hand. But I think we typically did let them know, because we did have complaints a while ago about people who wanted to know because they didn't want to have, of course, have their children or pets outside. So I think we do alert them, or we can alert them.
Yeah.
So, it's been a while since we've done this, and I don't have any direct knowledge on what had been done in the past as far as how it's paid, who does it, all the specifics, but I can recall doing it. And I think the last time we did it just in the area of Russellville, like maybe inside the city limits, and I assume they reimbursed us. For us to do this, we'll have to outfit a truck. We have the equipment, but it's not wired
We haven't
for
fogged
that.
it a long time.
It's
No,
been a
we
while.
haven't.
I'm gonna say at
And
least
that's
5
how we
years.
set the policy up, but I thought it was more attached to.
Probably about when we wrote
Last
that
night.
policy.
I thought in Osage City, we did it about 3 years ago.
Could be, but I don't have, I could probably ask.
One of the
some
Larrys,
guys, Yeah, I can ask them to see, but, follow-up question is, who pays for it? For us to do this, it's gonna require somebody generally on overtime, because we would normally do it in an evening. We'll have to pay them overtime, and then it's, equipment use or, that kind of thing too, so. Now, we do have the fogging chemicals, in our budget to buy each year, but we haven't bought them in several years. We do have some chemical.
You usually get the
on
pellets
hand.
now, don't you?
We put those in inlets. Yeah, I think,
The larvicide.
Yeah, and see, and the thing on this one, it's kind of unusual, because, the Moro's not too far, but, and there's some lagoons, but
You're
there's
gonna open a
not.
whole can of worms if we start doing this again, because you're gonna have, we've got creeks and hills in Cole County. So any place that has a creek or a river, you're gonna have to fog, you're gonna have everywhere. St. Thomas, Osage Bend, Osage City, then get Russellville Way and creeks.
Well, it was very dry and
I'm
stagnant.
gonna ask
I
you before you
wondered
do it
if
at my
this-
house, too.
Well, I'm
and
wondering if the
Mosquito.
rain over the weekend might help to get that river moving a little bit.
It-
You know,
I
if
mean, it
maybe
all
that was
helps,
a little
but
bit dry. I don't know.
You can't fog the whole county, and that's what
No,
we're gonna end
can't
up
do that.
doing. So that's why we got rid of I guess we established a policy that if there were some cases of
That's not.
mosquito-borne disease or something, then we would take more action on it.
I did check, there is a local pest control company that does take care of mosquitoes, and property owners could, if they elected to, they could hire them to do it on their own.
Does the city fog now?
I don't think so.
Back in the
Yeah,
day,
they did when we were-
it was a treat for the kids to follow that fogger
Yeah,
around.
on our
On the
bicycles.
east end right here.
That's maybe why we are,
Yeah.
the way we are
Well,
I don't know if
today.
they still do or not.
If they
But
do,
it's limits.
if they do, maybe it's easier to contract with the city to make one run out there. Rather than you overtime incurred rigging a truck up that takes that truck out of service for something else. But if there's a concentration of requests, I think we should consider honoring or replying positively. If it were one out of, if you just had one out there, but you're saying door to door to door.
Every single person I contacted, and probably, it was a half dozen, and there's not that many houses, it's about a half mile. Everyone said, yes, worst I've ever seen it, don't know what's going on, but it's bad. And I did call this morning to confirm with some of them that there's still conditions, they're still seeing quite a few mosquitoes, so.
Well, whatever you decide, if Public Works is directed to do this, I would just ask that you consider a reimbursement to our fund, because any expense that we have would come out of the road
Right.
bridge fund. So,
Okay.
Well, I think when we have citizens complain, I think we need to listen to them. So, yeah, and we might check with the city and see if we could just
So Thursday morning, be ready, because after they read Wednesday's paper, everybody's gonna be saying, well, yeah, come fog our place too. It's gonna happen, I promise you. I mean, I think that's why we kinda gotta look.
So we're gonna
wait
just
for-
tell the citizens we're not gonna do anything.
I don't know if it's our place to do something. If they got mosquitoes around their house, they have options to go and hire somebody to spray something. They can get any stagnant water sitting around and eliminate it. Pots of water, pans of water. You're gonna have to do it for everybody. So
This is the first request we've had in a number of years,
that's
so.
because we said no several years ago, and it kinda took it off of the burner.
Well,
So
I disagree, but
we never disagree. What do you mean? Well, I mean, I think it would behoove us to get some costs that would be associated with it. And, I mean, if you want to look at some of it, I'd just be careful what's gonna open it up.
To do just a one-off deal is probably not extreme, however, what's it gonna lead to? And are we equipped to go out and do this for months, weeks, months, or whatever, every night or a couple times a week? Yeah, but back in the past, I think it was 2 trucks that would go out and do it, and they would do it all evening. 2 or 3 people, and then it's like, who do you choose to get the overtime? Is it do you just select, or do you take volunteers? It opens up a little bit of a, where do you go from here discussion.
check and see if the city does do it, if we could just
Okay.
And
contract with them to spray once.
check the city, see, and check the commercial. I don't know if they do.
We could, if you're gonna contract with the city, you could just contract with an independent or private business too,
Right.
as an option, so.
And then if and when we do this, some type of alert to the homeowners that this day
I've
at
got phone
this.
numbers of most of them.
Okay. You put a flyer on the
You
door.
could always, put hang tags or something too.
Right.
We do
Yeah.
those.
Okay.
So what are they gonna do if it's an outside dog or they got a cat?
They, I
They
mean,
gotta put them all inside.
some of the people I talked to said that if they notify them, they'll make sure their kids and pets are safe inside.
Didn't seem to bother us when we were little, but. Duh.
Well,
I don't know. You get a little shock every now and then, stick your finger in an outlet, fine again. Okay,
Do you want us to report back? You want to put on?
please report back and we'll address it next Tuesday then. Is
So
is
you're
that
gonna
close
get
enough?
with
I'll talk to the city.
city and then, I mean, I don't think I should contact anybody until we know if we're gonna do it, correct?
Well, I'm going to vote to do it if, whether Public Works does it, whether we contract with the city because they say, yeah, they're already rigged up to go, maybe that, or commercial. Somewhere along the way, I'd like to satisfy the request of those residents since it's so
As would I.
concentrated.
Okay,
And-
so, yeah, I'll get additional numbers to make sure we can contact them.
Okay.
Do we want to get a rough cost from a private business too?
I think it's
Yeah.
worth a phone call.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I'll make those contacts. Do we know, you can probably give me a general area that they're gonna wanna know how much, I'm sure, if you
The
contract.
address?
I have the addresses, yeah, it's a half mile from
Add me to the
7,001.
list too. I want you to go by my house. And I'm gonna have Osage City call it too, Osage Bend will want it. And then while we're at it, I'm gonna get rid of some other wild animals too in my yard. I got some skunks and a couple coons up there eating my cat food. So, I mean, if we're gonna get rid of these animals, I wanna get rid of all of them. So, all right, point.
okay, you have direction.
Thank you.
Okay. Next is Public Works Equipment Purchase Discussion.
Okay, so I have 3 subcategories under this. I will put it all as one because it's part of an overall discussion concerning equipment purchase. So we do have some remaining funds available in our budgeted amount for this year for equipment purchase. of just under $60,000. We did a surplus sale of equipment earlier in the year through Purple Wave, and from that, we budgeted an amount, and it went above and beyond that to the tune of $65,000 on the plus side to our budget. So that gives us, those numbers don't add up.
Mr. Overall.
There's another number in there, and I believe it's from some addition, it goes back to when we purchased a truck out of last year's budget that we had originally budgeted for this year, because we had to do an early commitment to do that. It added some extra money. So we have just under $180,000 available. And what we want to do with that is we want to buy one 20-ton equipment trailer and then 3 3/4-ton Ford pickups. And the total of that will be about $174,000. So that is our plan going forward. We had originally planned to buy a 10-ton mini excavator trailer and then 1 half-ton pickup for the director, but we're changing that to the 20-ton trailer and then 3 pickups, and those will be for, 2 will be for engineering technicians and 1 will be for a mechanic supervisor. Any questions about that?
No, you got the money in there.
Yeah. It's all budgeted money, just a little bit of a change, which is normal that we do this, but I just want to bring it to your attention.
What does the 3/4, what's the equivalent when they say it's, for instance, a Ford? That's a F what?
F-250.
A 250?
Yes.
Okay.
We were originally trying to buy Chevrolets, and you can't get them on the state contract. And there's just no indication on when. So we opted for the Fords, which probably is a better thing because those are all aluminum bodies and they won't rust out. And that's the biggest issue we face as far as keeping equipment looking good and maintained.
Because of all the salt around your place?
Pretty much, yeah. We're in a lot of salt just coming and going from the shop during the winter.
Right.
So,
Okay.
so that is our plan going forward. Any other questions? Okay, we'll move on to approval of purchase of the 20-ton equipment trailer. I do have the quote for that I would like for you to approve and sign. And this amount is $29,963. It's on the state contract, and it's with Holden Industries. And this is actually the same trailer that we bought earlier in the year. Just due to inflation, it's actually a couple thousand more. So I would like approval of this quote and signature of it, and then we'll go ahead and get that ordered.
Where is Southwest City?
That's a good question.
It's right
Bet
down
it's in the
extreme
southwest.
Southwest corner of the state, almost bordering both
Oh.
Oklahoma and Arkansas.
McDonald County?
Yeah, if I remember all my travels with the state auditor's office, I think it's where
You are correct. It is extreme far southwest. You can't get any more southwest of
Yeah,
it.
that's what I thought.
Yeah, I've never heard of it.
So, and that's a state contract thing?
Yes.
So we didn't have to bid that too? Okay.
Correct.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Mm.
So I'll make a motion to approve and sign the purchase quotation for the Holden
Sign anywhere.
20-ton trailer.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Did we order a road grader last year to lock it in for this year?
We locked it in last year.
Yeah.
But it was in this year's budget.
Yeah.
And
So,
we have received it.
oh, we have, okay. 'Cause I didn't think we were supposed to get it till fall.
I think it came a little earlier, but it was summertime is when it was supposed to be
Okay,
here.
that's good. Well, I remembered that and, okay.
That leads well into the next item, addressing equipment availability and delivery delay issues. So, in the past, now the grader was an exception, but in the past, I'm glad the auditor's here that we can discuss how we want to go forward. We wouldn't order equipment until that budget year, just because the money would have to be in the budget for the auditor to approve and for the commission to sign. That usually was okay because you could get stuff within a reasonable time period. We're looking at, currently, if we were to purchase an international dump truck, which is generally what we buy, single axle or tandem, about 2 years out for receiving that, which puts us in a little bit of a predicament. If we know, as we life cycle our equipment and start rotating around, if we know something's gonna be up for replacement in 2 years, we really need to be ordering it now. But we're making a commitment 2 years down the road to purchase that. With the grader that Sam just mentioned, we did commit to buying that last year, September-ish, maybe earlier. It was last year
Yeah.
about this time.
Yeah.
And there was something within that quote that didn't necessarily commit us to buying it, but it locked us in to receive it when it came. And then it was budgeted for this calendar year, and everything was fine. However, one of the trucks we ordered last year, we didn't do that. It was actually taken out of our contingency to encumber the funds. And it was in this year's budget, so that's where some of that extra money came in this year's budget. We actually budgeted for it this year, not realizing that it had been taken out of last year's contingency. So at the end of the day, it actually freed up extra money for us to do what we just talked about. But going forward, do we have a plan on how we can address these delays in delivery of equipment? This is going to cause us an issue if we don't act on it now, as far as committing to buy things, making that commitment even though we may not budget for it in 2 more years or a year or something like that. So, for example, these pickups, these 3/4 ton pickups that we need to order, they're not even allowed to be ordered until September. And it will be well into next year before we receive them. Now, it's in this year's budget, so everything's fine. But the next time that comes around, we'll be faced with the decision, it almost requires us to budget 2 years out and 3 years out on equipment, which we will do. But will we be allowed to make that commitment to buy, knowing that it's in a different budget year?
We either gotta do a transfer or else we take it out of contingency, and then if we're planning, and we've gotta do with the ambulances, those are an extended amount of time to get to, so. Are you finding that most of them are a year out, or are you getting to where they're 2 years out now?
Just depends on what it is.
Specialty equipment probably takes longer.
I think we're seeing really any vehicle, whether it's a pickup or a dump truck, those tend to be the longest for whatever reason. The grader, like I said, it was about a year, maybe a little less. Some of the equipment we're buying, for example, we bought I think we signed the agreement or the purchase order in January, brush off, and we still haven't received it yet. So I think it's across the board, everything's delayed. I think the vehicles are taking longer than other things, possibly due to the computer chips, and I've heard there's delay issues with that, the computer chips required in them, so.
Mark, could you weigh in on this from the auditor's office?
Well, I think legally, you cannot go past, commit funding for a year out, if I remember right. Otherwise, you have to, it would be considered longer-term debt, which would take like.
We can't commit something from the budget for next year, which we don't have.
I guess I'd have to do some more research or have
Well,
some legal help with
I
that
agree
too.
with you, Mark. And
Yeah.
now, in the past, what we've done is add on the auditor's statement that it's subject to appropriation for the future years. And so there's a clear understanding that commitment beyond 1 year is completely subject to appropriation.
But we have money in contingency, so if we're gonna commit to buying a truck, they're not gonna take an order for a truck that we will not commit to buying. So we would have to either commit contingency and plan on just buying it out of it, doing the transfer, because that's the way we'll be able to attach the funds to it, or I guess encumber it. So,
We can't be the only political subdivision with this issue right now. This has got to be border to border. maybe there's something afoot. Yeah,
Other county auditors, see what they're.
right. Have you been to baby auditor school yet?
No.
No, you know, we go to baby commissioner school every year, so.
Yeah,
That happened,
I mean, we can't be the Lone Ranger on this. Everybody's got to be, I think there's got to be some kind of a way.
The simple way to do it is, like Jeff said, you just encumber it out of your contingency and, you bet.
I think that's what we're gonna have to do. If we get something out there that's long-term like that, we need to get it ordered,
Yeah.
so.
And that, when it comes down to making sure we're tracking the expenses within the sales tax categories and not going over and above what we committed to, trying to match pretty close, we'll just have to track that internally. We can do that. I just wanted to get some discussion going on what's the remedy to this issue and see what you all have to say. I think especially when you go from one sales tax to the next, you can't commit beyond a sales tax that hasn't been passed yet. So I think that definitely lends itself to, you just have to do contingencies and go that route. Now, we did like I said, on that grader, we signed it last year, we didn't have it budgeted until this year, but I think there was some clause in there that stated that we weren't bound to taking it if we changed our mind or something like that, and I think just because of the demand for those pieces of equipment, that one was through Caterpillar with Fabic.
and didn't that lock in the price too?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that, I mean, that's, you know, it's kind of like the trailer here. Well, like the trailer for the maintenance. I mean, that took forever to get, and I think the first bid we had was 7,000. And what we ended up getting was 9,000 something.
You know, the vendors that are selling these popular pieces of equipment may have relaxed their side of the deal because they know that if someone who ordered it doesn't take it, there's another line of folks waiting to pay more than the agreed to price, probably because the prices are going up.
Potentially, yeah.
So,
I think if we can, and that'd be something we just work with you on in the commission, if there is a way to guarantee the price, lock the price in, but not stick it through contingency, there's no commitment to buy it. You know, maybe there's some ways we can get around that.
well, I'm not so concerned about making the commitment, except we can't violate a statute by doing it. But if the vendor would relax, whatever it takes, we have to address the different climate than was before when we had the 1 year rule.
Yeah, these are unique times, so.
I don't know why you couldn't like attach it to the budget. This is subject to future appropriations. I mean, if
I've
you've
got the
got,
language.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I'll poll other counties, but that sounds like the way to go.
We've done some that way, but if somebody does have a hiccup with it, then we can deal with it. Do the contingency or whatever too. There's some people, I mean, same with construction materials, used to you could order it and they'd sit there and hold it for you for a month or how long, and now you gotta pay for it, they're not gonna hold it, you gotta take delivery of it, so. Yeah, it's different times now for sure, so there's ways around it. But I'd just say if you have something that's gonna be an extended amount of time out there, we'll just have to deal with it, and if they don't agree to the verbiage,
Okay.
bring it up here and we'll deal with it.
I just wanted to get that on the agenda for discussion because it was relative to what the other items we were talking about, just get some general conversation going on how to handle. So I think I know where to go from here. And probably gonna be a situation with each piece of equipment or with each vehicle, it might be a little bit different arrangement, and we'll just address each one separately as it comes, and I think we'll be fine.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that could be, just like Harry said. If you don't buy it, that's fine, we'll just sell it for more.
Yeah.
yeah,
You got enough direction there?
I think so. Yeah. I do, yes, I do.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Do we have anybody here? County Assessors certification values for 2022? I didn't put that on the agenda, so I don't know who to.
Did I do that? That we received, I guess we received from the assessor's office on Friday, June 30th.
The,
No, this was the county assessor certification of values for 2022. And I have a number of questions. I wish someone from the assessor's office would have shown up. I don't know when we have to, when the commission is required to accept it. I think the requirement date of his submission to us was the 30th of June, I believe. I was particularly interested in personal property, vehicles in particular, because my understanding is the Missouri State Tax Commission has told the assessors of Missouri, use this table versus the table you've been using because of what has happened to used car and truck prices. And it looks like, by looking at it, it looks like the assessor's office has done that, because I'm a little in the dark here, but the assessed valuation per vehicle has increased about 29%, according to my rough and dirty numbers. And maybe that's what the market is indicating. But we don't have anyone here from the assessor's office to visit with us about that. And then, of course, then the number of parcels and the assessed value of real estate is in here as well. So I'm not quite ready to say let's just go with this until we talk with someone from the office.
Oh,
I don't remember when we have to certify that, but it's after BOE sometime, right?
I guess well, I don't know. I don't
We
know.
actually certify it before.
Yeah, they have to close off their books before the
And that's scheduled, when's our BOE meetings start?
end of July?
Yeah, last week of July.
Oh, about 3 weeks away. So I'll visit with the,
All those values have to be sent out to all the political subdivisions before BOE. There's meeting before BOE and after BOE. Go out to the subdivisions.
I would assume they're
might
the
wanna
ones that
grab a
made the
microphone.
request.
you're probably not being picked up.
Oh,
You might want to repeat that last statement you
We'll
made.
have to send out assessed values to all the political subdivisions before Board of Equalization. And then after BOE, then we'll have to send out a new set of assessed valuations, which is what they base their tax rates on for the tax bills. So it just all has to be balanced before and after BOE.
And another question I would have had with them today is, I think we might be still waiting on something from the city on some, is the term abatements, strikers, is,
I have, Tom hasn't, I mean, he's been in contact, looped me in on all his inquiries about that, and to my knowledge, there hasn't been anything received, but I can call him too.
Yeah, as of last Thursday, the county clerk's office has not received any appeal requests for BOE, but they have until the second Monday in July to get those to us, and they usually wait till the last day,
Yeah.
so.
now, all those property owners, parcel owners, they've already been notified about the preliminary number for their parcel?
Well, this is a non-assessment year.
Okay.
So, but if someone had new construction, they should have been notified, yes, by now, if their value increased.
Okay.
So we don't get a copy of those letters, but they should have gone out by now.
oh, we'll just wait and see if the city does anything.
Well, I would say this item is going to be on the agenda for next week.
I would, yeah.
I don't think Chris is gonna be back, so we need to see if we can get somebody from over there to answer the questions that you have on that.
Right.
Somebody requested,
July 5th?
Yeah, it's pretty soon.
Well, he said no sooner than July 5th he would be back. I believe.
Well, I will talk to Chris
All right.
and, okay. Do we have anything else before we go into closed session?
I don't think so.
Can I mention about our United Way?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So once again, Cole County is a United Way pace setter. Because Kristen, the auditor, was our coordinator and has left, we have a team at the health department who has taken it over. So next week, we're going to have a little kickoff at the meeting. I don't know if that got on the agenda, but there will be a speaker here for just a few minutes to kind of kick off our campaign. And then the employee pledge cards will be distributed. And then we have a bag cornhole tournament scheduled for July 22nd. We did get food trucks confirmed, so we'll be sending out the details this week, and it's going to be held at the airport. Through Family Connections, we were able to get a hangar at the airport, so rain or shine, we'll be able to have the event. So we're hoping for a good turnout. It'll be open to the public. Jeff has graciously, generously is going to donate a set of bag boards to be raffled off. We'll probably, and then I will be soliciting donations from the elected officials for the prizes for the tournament winners. I think that's all the details, but July 22nd, 6 o'clock at the airport. So we have until like August 19th to wrap up our pace setter campaign, but we're hoping to wrap ours up by the end of the month because back to school is very busy at our office, so we're hoping to have it done. And we also will be decorating the hat and put that in our lawn. The theme, it's Willy Wonka, So Shines a Good Deed, is the theme for this year. So
I think we need to do that again where we duct tape Jeff to the pillar and throw water balloons. I liked that. I thought that was.
Don't you remember the op-eds that were in the paper after that? I don't think that was a hazing incident, according to an op-ed that was in the paper.
Yeah, I don't think a whole lot of people were too hurt by it.
No.
It's just Jeff, so. What's it cost per team? How are you
It's
gonna
going to
do
be
it?
$50 a team
Okay.
or $25 if you're a single person, and we'll match you up. But
So then you can bring your own team, or are you gonna do a blind draw? Or
bring
how
your
you
own
doing
team.
it?
You sign up as a team.
Okay.
Or if you're a single, then we'll try to pair up people that are that don't have a team, but so
Is it
recruit
all
your
gonna
best
be-
friend that's really good at the game.
Is it gonna be all one competitive group, or are you gonna have like two brackets, one for competitive and one for backyard?
We planned to just have one bracket, but we might have to, depending on how many teams and how many sets of bag boards we have, we might have to do it in 2 flights. So we had not considered making competitive in backyard. Do you think that's a good idea? We're rookies at this.
Either that, or however you set the bracket up, then you can have a consolation bracket and have the winners of the losers.
Okay.
So, or something, I don't know.
I will give that to the person who's setting up the bracket.
And it could
Not
be
me.
hot, so bring your
I
own
think you
cooler
just
of
get-
water.
Yeah.
I know you get some people that play all the time and some people that.
But it makes it more fun for somebody who just wants to do it recreationally too. So
Okay.
They've
Good
got
idea.
a chance to win something.
Yeah.
I mean,
We're still working on the entry form, so we could
I still
indicate
got,
what.
I'm gonna get, I gotta get Joe down one of these times yet. I still owe him from the last little tournament.
Joe and Donna Joe and Donna won
I know.
at our
I'm
employee
still a
one.
little sore
So
about
they are
that.
you're not allowed to play with Donna this
Not
time.
used to it.
Well,
Joe, you wanna be on my
We
team?
might be able to,
Wanna be on my team, Joe? No, it'd be a good time.
Yeah, so
Then,
flyers should be coming out.
So you got food truck out there, are they gonna be serving any drinks at all?
We are going to allow people to bring their own coolers for drinks.
Okay.
Water, lemonade.
The food trucks, I'm sure, have some drinks. We have the Twisted Whip has confirmed, the Big Hungry Patty Wagon, and Crazy Fries. The Big Cheese wants a certain minimum, and we don't know how many people, so we can't guarantee. And 2 out of the 3 have already said that they will donate part of their proceeds back to United Way.
Cool.
And I'm sure they have some drinks, but we also allow people to bring their own coolers.
So did your department step up to take care of the void? Thank you very much.
Yes. Yeah.
Thanks to the health department. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Thank you
No
guys.
problem. All right, anything else?
Thank you. Okay.
2 items.
Yes.
The Carnegie project is out for bid right now. Pre-bid meeting is next Wednesday. We'll be here under site visit. And then the bid opening is going to be on the 22nd. So that's moving along. Everything's going as planned.
These are the steps, among other things. Oh, yes, right.
It's basically around the whole. So, and that, the completion date on that project will be May of next year, and there's some things in there to structure to where we can do the work this fall if the contractor chooses, and then more next year. So, working with CMPS to do that, and then the small community cooperative projects, those were received, the deadline was last Friday. We got 6 applications. That'll turn around and we'll, or the Road and Bridge Advisory Board will make recommendations to the commission by, don't know the dates offhand, but it'll be by the 1st of August. So we'll have that information into the county commission, and then it'll go to the commission for concurrence or whatever you choose, and then we'll be able to budget it, structure it, whether it's all in next year's budget or whether it goes over a 2-year cycle like we did last time. So, just wanted to let you all know that we got all that moving along.
Okay. Our next scheduled commission meeting is Tuesday, July 12th at 9 a.m. I would entertain a motion to go in a closed session.
Motion to pursuant to Section 610.021 of the revised statutes of Missouri, the commission will go into closed session to discuss the following: personnel issues under Section 610.021 subsection 3.
Second.
Roll call?
Sam,
Yes.
Harry,
Yes.
Jeff.
Yes. Forgot my name.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you? You're awful quiet today. That's scary.
So, you know, in dark,